So I think this one, I always introducing myself, right? So I know there's two of us. So I don't
Yeah.
know if we should do like, hey, I'm Adam Facenda and I'm Geronimo, and this is
You're Geronimo too?
no, I want you to say you're Geronimo.
I'm Geronimo Gomez, along with Adam Facenda.
No, you're one of us is gonna go first. And then the other one's gonna say whatever they're gonna say.
All right, you go first.
Okay, here we go. I'm Adam Facenda,
I'm Geronimo Gomez.
and we're the Anchors and Eagles podcast. Thanks for listening.
In a world where truth hides between shadows and light, this is Anchors and Eagles, with your hosts Adam Facenda and Jeronimo Gomez, where anchors hold you down and eagles dare to rise above. We dive into the unknown business, music, conspiracy, and the untold stories that shape us all. Sit tight, listen close. This is Anchors and Eagles.
Okay, all right. Just letting you guys know, I've had a lot of coffee, and in the past 15 minutes, and I also had a sweet treat, if you will, so that way I have energy for this podcast.
A sweet treat.
Yeah, that's what we call it around these parts here in downtown Fort Lauderdale when you don't drink anymore.
Okay, sweet treat. Okay.
Sweet treat. Yeah, you know, like a what did I have? I'm big old fatty. I had I call it a pumpkin cupcake, but it's a pumpkin muffin from Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's,
I mean, I've been up for a while now, and I just want to make sure I was on point for this podcast.
yes.
Yeah. So, how's your day going?
Good. Let's see. Worked on some music and got ready for this. Did some research.
Awesome.
Ready to go.
Ready to bring it. Okay, cool.
Bring it.
Let's bring it.
Whoa,
Break it
hey.
down.
Hey.
This is what you get with caffeine. You know what I mean? Good old straight edge Adam on caffeine. This is 50 years of being a complete maniac on caffeine. I think I might have had I had some coffee this morning, but I just wasn't awake this morning. Anyway, so starting this podcast, I think we should announce that we're going to start doing interviews, right?
Yep. Let's do it. Announce we're doing interviews.
Okay, there you go. And that was the announcement. We're going to be doing interviews. Our next interview is going to be with Blair Hess. You and I have known Blair for a very long time.
Yep. Good old Blair.
Good old Blair. When did you meet Blair?
I mean, all throughout. I mean, skateboarding and stuff. He was part of a different crew that I was rolling with. I skated down to Fort Lauderdale, that south, and they were kind of more like a West Palm kind of crew. So I didn't really have that much interaction with that.
Blair was a West Palm skater?
Yeah, I mean, huh? Boca.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was going to say. I've only known him. I remember him from the Black Building. Do you ever go to the Black Building in Coral Springs?
Mm-hmm.
Just off of Sample and University?
Maybe, I don't know.
It was like a bank we all skated at. That's where I met. Well, I didn't meet Ryan Weiss, but that's where I would skate with Ryan Weiss and Steve Lieber and a bunch of dudes over there. And
yeah, I was mostly a Miami, Fort Lauderdale kid.
Gotcha.
South.
Yeah.
Jolie went to college with him, though. Right?
No, I met him during.
Or she met him during college.
I guess we're gonna find what the real story is from Blair on this next episode. These episodes where I think what we're gonna do so the person listening understands is we're gonna be doing our podcasts together, and then we're gonna do some interviews because I want to give some real attention to the editing to whatever we do with an interview. And try to bring some extra stuff in there. I don't know if we're going to mix in some, old pictures of these guys that we grew up with, we have any, or whatever we're going to do. So if you're listening to this, I suggest whenever we interview somebody to jump on YouTube and follow us there. So we sent some stuff to each other this week.
We did. Crazy stuff.
You know what sucks is all week I'm like hyped on something, and then just before we get here, it's almost like I draw a blank. Yeah, I'm like, I this week. Let me just explain. I really want this to be on YouTube as just so a lot of people can see exactly what we look like and mannerisms and stuff like that. I think that gives a great opportunity for people to connect with us. But I've been chasing a good camera all week. And man, I went down a deep dive on that today. And then we go to use We go to use Riverside FM, and it is just missing. You know what I mean? It's just not there.
Yeah.
It's just
that's the problem That's the problem. Everything's connected. You know, everything's
Yeah.
like some service, and that service goes down, and everything's down.
Yeah, it started this morning. I didn't even know, but Katie and I had just left the dog park, and what she does for business is really tied to a bunch of these companies too. She works for a company called Reframe. It's about it's a sober app. So they use all these things, and she literally uh had some problems with what she was doing, and I was like, "Oh, that sucks." You know, I'm a tattooer. I'm like thinking I'm gonna dodge this bullet, but it was a lot of stuff. I mean, interfered with Apple Music, Ring. Can you believe that? Like
Everything's connected, man.
everything's connected. Do you know that? I don't know. Do you guys have Ring on your at your house?
No, we don't have one of those.
So, you know, I tell you, I watch Barry Stepp, right? He's one of these guys that does reactions, and there was a guy that was on there, and something happened. I believe it was in June or May. It might have been May that there was a breach in Ring, and people were able to go into everyone's Ring camera and then share themselves as a person to be able to view what was in there.
Wow. Yeah.
And like, so first off, I'm like, yeah, that sounds, this sounds like one of those conspiracy dudes that like just making stuff up. But then I went in there and every one of my cameras from my house to my businesses, they were all breached.
Yep. That's what happens.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, remember we had that cyber hack there. So
Yeah.
they're saying, I think, what is it? Amazon is saying, no, it's just something, same thing they did with the, I think it was whenever it happened with Delta. Someone just did some improper coding or something like that.
It's just a fat finger, dude. That's what it was.
That's all it is. And I have those, and I'm not judging anybody. You know what I mean? This stuff happens, you know? But honestly, I think we were cyber attacked again. What do you think about
Maybe.
that?
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure we're hit thousands of times a day, every day.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. So I wouldn't be surprised around this time that this would be the case.
Yeah, these are pretty big though. Like, I mean, like first off, I know I'm old. Did you ever use Snapchat?
I never got into it.
Yeah, it's
Never
so
got into
weird.
it. TikTok, I mean, I never got into it.
I like TikTok because there's like
Yeah.
there's some funny stuff on there, but then a lot of this conspiracy stuff's all over the place. So to hear different people's theories,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
I would like to get on it for that because a lot of people post on there and
Yeah.
like a lot of cool little videos and stuff like that. I would like to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not that important.
Yeah, so it said that like, what does it say here? Snapchat, Signal, and Reddit got hit, or as part of this situation, and I can see. I mean, what are you really collecting off of Snapchat? Like some dumb kids sending pictures of each other. You know what I mean? You know, like, but Signal, that's a huge one.
What is Signal? What is that?
It's kind of like what I'm probably, somebody's probably going to correct me on this, but it's a way for people to talk, like kind of like an encrypted talking.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Almost like
Yeah.
WhatsApp, but supposedly stronger. Maybe I'm wrong with
Right.
that. Julie,
Right.
can you look that up?
For Telegram? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yes, encrypted messaging app for text, voice, and video calls.
boom. And then at Riverside, it was a hit too. So this is pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, we were having a problem with the Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the case with this, but
I think it was user error on both ends.
No.
No?
Maybe on your end.
Rick?
Both ends. Nah, it was all me. It was all me.
It was all him?
It was all me.
You know what's
Probably. I don't know. You were in waiting for me. So
Yeah, but I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. I did send a couple because for some reason my phone wouldn't connect. And not that I'm the prettiest guy anymore. You know, I mean, I was really good looking when I was 14, but I just don't want. I just can't stand a fuzzy camera or anything like that.
Yeah.
Are you using the new lighting right now?
Not. I mean,
Tomorrow.
it comes tomorrow.
Oh, it comes tomorrow. True. I was gonna say because your eyes look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think
I like that you're holding the paper. You look very
You know what's thinking about doing?
You look like a news anchor, kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, like
It
writing
looks
on
good
it and
there.
stuff. You
You
know,
look like you got notes.
yeah. Well, I actually did. I
reason.
I did some research, for sure. But that was the one that just came up that I was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, we have to talk about this. Who knows what's going to happen by the next episode? whether or not we find out what truly happened. And the other thing I was thinking about doing, I love Saturday Night Live my whole life.
Yeah.
And
So
and every one of their papers was blue, and I thought about
yes.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So, but
Wait, who
anyway,
used to do the who used to do the scribble across the paper and then like was that Saturday Night Live at the end of like the what was it what was the news called SNL News or whatever they used to scribble across paper at the end of the episode and toss it or was that
yeah, well, that's also what's his name? The politically incorrect guy. What was his name? It's on Comedy Central, I think now.
Yeah. Are you talking about Bill Maher?
No,
No, not Bill Maher. No, not
No.
Bill Maher.
the funny guy, not Bill Maher. I never thought Bill Maher was funny.
Yeah.
What was his name?
The Daily News wasn't that
The Daily Show. That's it. Yeah,
Daily Show.
Yeah, politically incorrect was Bill Maher. Daily
that's
Show.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we sound like we know
Anyway.
what we're talking about.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking about doing is doing some of these blue sheets to make myself look a little bit more legit.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about wearing a suit in the future too.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
You should get that little picture that shows up right here.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add that in there too.
It's so funny in the 80s and they have that in 90, they had that little picture there.
Well, if you watch SNL, they still do it, which is just so
Yeah.
classic. It's so awesome.
Nice.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk about some of the stuff that you sent me this week, or do you want to talk about moon stuff? Where do you want to start today?
I mean, the stuff that I sent you this week, I mean, that's just crazy. I'm still
Which
pretty
stuff?
messed up by
You gotta say it. You gotta say what you're talking about.
the Chris Bledsoe stuff.
Yes. Let's
I'm
talk
still,
about that.
I mean, that's wild. That's wild.
So let's go ahead. You can start it off. Tell us a little bit about who he is and how you discovered him.
I discovered him through watching a little mini documentary on out-of-body experiences.
Okay.
So when this guy, the guy that I was watching, he went, there's a retreat. There's a place you go that called Monroe Institute that basically they train, how to induce out-of-body experiences, remote viewing, all that stuff. Now this place it's a legit place. Like CIA has been there. It's been around for a very long time. And so this guy, there's a documentary that he did on going through the whole process. Chris Bledsoe's son was there. And, they spoke a little bit about him and his background. And then I was like, oh, that's interesting because they talked about, their family story and what his father went through a little bit. So that put me on this whole, oh, cool. Who's this guy? And
Gotcha.
Bam.
So why were you on that? Let's just rewind. Let's like roll back a little.
The out-of-body thing?
The out-of-body thing. Why were you on that?
Oh, boy. Okay. So it's really weird. When I was, I think, 12 or 13, I had an experience to this day has stuck with me my whole life. Okay. I was 12 or 13 and we had family over from Colombia, right? So my brothers got basically kicked out of their room. They all had to sleep in the living room while we let the guests take the beds and stuff, right? One morning, I basically had this weird dream. It was a weird dream. So the dream was I'm walking through my living room and then my whole living room is covered in like this brownish milky mist. Everything was kind of like it was early morning, so I could see the light coming in through the blinds. It was early morning. And then I look down on the ground and I see a mouth. Really weird. I see a mouth and through this mist, all I could see was a mouth coming through the mist. Okay.
Hey, when you say a mouth, is it open mouth? Is it closed?
It's an open mouth. It's an open mouth. It's an open mouth, and then I see a bunch of hands going in it.
Okay.
I see hands going in it. The second I see that, I wake up to a scream. I wake up in my bed to a scream. I run out of my room. My brother's having a seizure on the floor, and my sister's trying to keep his mouth open so he doesn't swallow his tongue. Okay. So that experience stayed with me up until now. Obviously, I remember it clearly, and I don't know how to explain that other than I was possibly out of my body and I see that, and then the scream pulls me back in and I wake up, right? So so after that, I think a few weeks later, a year later, I started having these other weird experiences where I'm like floating out. I'm in our apartment complex and there's a parking lot and I'm just hanging out above the light post. Just floating out there above the light post.
So how old are you at this point?
probably 13 or whatever. It all started with that one.
Okay.
With that one crazy experience, and then after that, these things would just happen spontaneously. Not too often, but they were more than just dreams, right?
Yeah.
They felt different, and so that always stuck with me. So around the mid 2000s, I started really getting into a lot of like weird, woo stuff, right? And then I came across Robert Monroe, which this guy, he wrote 3 books on out-of-body experiences because he started to have them in the 1950s. And so he started the Monroe Institute to figure out what was happening to him. Why was he having these out-of-body experiences? So he used his resources and stuff, and he built a Monroe Institute. All this was to study what was going on with him because he had no idea. He thought he was dying. He thought, he was freaking out. So then I found him. I found his 3 books. I read his 3 books twice, and they all seem to go back to what I experienced.
And how old are you at this point?
Oh, this is like mid 2000s, mid 2000s. So little by little, I want to try to. You can learn to induce this experience.
I have
So I've been trying to learn. I was really into it for a while, like learning to meditate and stuff. And then life happens, all that stuff. It's really hard for me to calm my brain and all that stuff. And then so lately I've been getting back into it. So that's when I was like, oh, okay, that sounds like an interesting video. I'm gonna go, because it's one of my bucket lists to go to the Monroe Institute. Dying to go there. Gotta go there.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think probably around the same time. So you know who Edgar Casey is then?
Yes.
Okay. So my mother, so there was things I used to do when I was a kid, and she always wanted to take me to where Edgar Casey's school was, but she was always afraid to tell me. She didn't start telling me this till just before she died, So I got into it then. But so when I started getting into Edgar Casey, I do a lot of weird things. My whole family does a lot of weird things. I wanted to learn how to have an out of body experience, and at the time, I was dating a girl named Anna, and then she had practiced that too. I think she was also into a lot of like voodoo stuff. You know what I mean? But I used to practice it every night, and I learned to do it as I was dozing off because I wanted to be able to do what Edgar Casey did. And once you get it down and you come out of your body, it gets scary at first.
Yeah.
I've had the first time I came out of my body, you automatically think you're just dreaming. Like you said, you're like, what is this weird dream I'm having? I feel like I'm awake, but I'm not, and I felt like there was arms around me. Like my father was very affectionate towards me. So like there's nothing better than a hug from my father, but that's how it felt. And like, it literally felt like I was being pulled upward, and I saw my body and I got scared. I woke up, put myself right back in my body.
Yeah, I had no idea that you were dabbling in this whole stuff. I had no idea.
Dude.
Wow. Cool.
So I have a question for you. On your upper part of your ear, do you have a notch missing?
Upper part of my ear.
Yeah, like up in here.
You know what? I think
You have a little divot?
I did. Well, it's kind of weird because I did. At one time, I was in martial arts and I broke my cartilage in my ear.
But you don't have a little piece missing since you were a kid, right? Or do you?
I don't know. I mean, it feels weird. I mean, I don't know if everybody's got that. I really have to go in and.
So here's the thing, right? Whenever I see you again, I'll check it out. I watched some stuff, and what is it called? It's not enough caffeine. That's what it is. The Atlanteans. If you're a descendant of from the Atlanteans, you'll have this little notch missing out of your ear. So part of that is, so I'll just be upfront. This woo woo stuff is like, since I was 5th grade, I figured out I had some like weird thing about me where I can dream and I see the future. And I mean, tens of 20 years into the future. And I never really brought it up to anybody, but the first time I noticed it was when I was in 5th grade. No, it was 6th grade at Addicks Middle, and I'll never forget this. The kid that's sitting in front of me, it's our first day of school, and the kid turns around to me and says, "Hey, what's your name?" I said, "Oh, my name's Adam." He's like, "Oh, nice to meet you." I'm like, "And you're Andrew, right?" And he said, "How'd you know that?" I was like, "Oh, shoot, I've already been here." You know what I mean? And what's scary, remember, like I said, like when I saw my body the first time and I got scared and I just threw myself back in my body. When I have these deja vus, what's crazy is in my dream, just as I feel that or that connection, whenever I have it in like this world, wherever we're at, um, I wake up, right? So to me, it's I'm dying. So whenever I have these deja vus, I used to panic really bad, like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna come out of this body right now. And I'm gonna go to somewhere else. I don't want to go somewhere else. I'm very comfortable right here, right now, you know? So I don't tell anybody about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is like, I
Huh.
mean, maybe like 20 people know this about me, and five of them are my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is something I've had my whole life. And then as I got older and I started talking to my mom about it, and that's how she turned me on to Edgar Casey. She knew I had those, but she wouldn't tell me about it. She just wanted me to be, you know? And oh, I can't believe I'm even putting this out there because people are gonna think I'm a freaking weirdo. But anyway, um, my grandmother on my mother's side does this or did this. My grandfather on my father's side did this, which is weird. So it's weird that I had two different, and these are people from, I think my grandfather was born in 1891 or 1893, and my other grandmother she was a lot younger than him. So I think she was like born in like 1930 or something like that, somewhere during the Depression. So like these people are not even of the same decades, you know?
Right.
And then, but my mom never had it. And then I asked my grandmother finally, while she was still with us, and I said, Mom, do you have dreams that you see in the future? And she said, Yeah, I used to have them all the time. I'm like probably like 18, 19 years old at this time. I said, What do you mean you used to have them? She's like, I don't dream anymore. And I was just like devastated,
Yeah.
like, oh no, does this go away? You know what I mean? Like, man, like I couldn't even imagine not dreaming, but so then as I learned this, and then I told my dad about it, and he's like, oh yeah, your grandfather used to do it, but I can't do it. I was like, that's weird. And so then I asked my sister, my baby sister, and I asked my brother, and they both do it. And their times are different than mine. See, I can do 10, 20 years in the future. My brother can do 30 days into the future, and my sister can do up to 48 hours into the future.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not
Yeah,
cool.
that's wild. That's
It's
wild.
not cool.
Well, I mean, yeah,
It's
no,
a spoiler constantly,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Because you can't use it to your advantage. You said you practiced meditating to do this. Like, have you been able to replicate it ever?
No, I've never been able to induce it, but I believe I've gotten close. Weird things have happened. I remember one time I was pretty, because usually it's called mind awake, body asleep. So basically, you relax your body completely to the
Mhm.
point where it feels like it's sleeping, right? But your
Mhm.
mind, you can still keep your mind going. Um, I mean, it's gotten to the point where I've heard I'm in a like a big room of just people talking, but you can't like make out what they're saying. I've had one really weird one. I had somebody in my left ear go boo. They
No way.
said, but it was funny because it was almost as if, like when somebody says something, you could hear that they're smiling when they say it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It was that kind of thing. But another weird thing was that it sounded like one of my brother's voices
Really?
going boo, but he was like kind of messing with me, like you're trying to do it. I'm going to scare you, boo,
Right.
like
Right.
that's what it felt like. But yeah, I've never been able to induce the actual that there are certain things that you feel like certain vibrations. You'll hear snaps. You'll hear I've heard that stuff, but I've never quite been able to do the classic, hovering above, turning around, looking at yourself. I
Yeah.
haven't I haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
Uh,
My best one yet was I left my apartment.
yeah, I haven't. That's some. Well, okay. One weird thing was there's another technique of where if you go to a place in your house or some place that means a lot to you,
Mhm.
just imagine that you're there in front of it, right?
Mhm.
So when my first dog died, we had a little place for him, right? We have a little shrine or whatever,
Mhm.
and I think we had these certain candles there that smelled that had a specific smell, and so I pictured myself being there because I figured, well, I'll tie this feeling to something that I really care about, or so, there's a lot of emotion tied to that area.
Mhm.
So I was hoping that would bring me closer to that point. And then all of a sudden in bed, I started smelling that candle that was right there where we had the little shrine. So that was weird. Usually when I do experience this, it's near the tail end of the experience. I'll be landing. I've had where I'm landing on a roof. I'll be like slowly just coming down onto a roof or that. But I don't ever get to the whole experience, which I'm
Really?
Yeah.
So when you're falling asleep, have you ever tried it while you're falling asleep?
Yeah, I mean that's when I do it. When I was really getting into it, I would pick certain times. I would just shut everything off in the room, lay on the floor, and just clear my mind. I don't really have a problem with getting to that point.
Gotcha.
It's just being able to not be disturbed within that time. That's usually the hard part.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because usually my dog will turn, he'll do something, he'll get up, start licking, over and over again.
You're staying right here with me, Papa.
So, that's why I would like to go to the Monroe Institute, because
Gotcha.
it's specialized. You have a room with headphones, and they really, you really get a chance to be, and it's cool to be along to go through this experience with other people that are searching also.
Yeah, how I got into doing it was I started with trying to control my dreams. So once you learn how to control, once you understand that you're in a dream, then you can start controlling your dreams. And that's when you can get in between that alpha and beta wave to be able to actually go see I think I'm going to probably pronounce this wrong. Akashic Records.
Akashic.
Akasha.
Akashic.
So that's what I started doing, and then that's when I could get into that in between wave, is when I was that's when I knew I could push myself out of my body. So I'm not suggesting that anyone does this.
I mean, the thing is, once anytime I tell people about this or whatever, it's it'll mess you up.
Oh yeah,
being able to, number one, it'll give you a knowing that there is something beyond this physical body, for sure.
Right.
And you're not the only one out there.
Yeah, I think it'd be, I always thought it would be,
once you open that door.
Yeah. If you could leave your body and go hang out with your buddies across the entire world, and be
well, that was weird about that. This one that I had when I was hanging out above the light posts of my neighborhood, I look around, it's very early in the morning, so the sun's just coming up, but there's hundreds of people outside. There was hundreds of people just hanging out, laughing, sitting on the steps. That's what really stuck with me. There was hundreds of people just out there, and they were just having fun and enjoying themselves. We're talking 5 o'clock in the morning, and everyone's just hanging out, and that's another image that always stuck with me of that experience.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think so I've always been terrified to die because my mom screwed me up when I was a kid. And she apologized just before she died too. But I held it against her. But at the same time, I knew that I could do this thing. You know what I mean? So I don't think I think our true consciousness is not really our body. It's where we can leave this body whenever we want, and literally, that's what I was always afraid of. Is so the time I got out of my body and I went outside my apartment, I went down the road, and it's weird because I instantly was oh no, what if I've gone too far and I get lost? And there's something about that second of panic that was just thrown back into my body.
Oh, totally. Yeah. How does the world look to you when you're out there? Does it look the same?
I've only done it at night, so it all looked the same to me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there wasn't there's no milkiness to it. I would say it's hazy.
Yeah. It was a haze. That's what and the milkiness I attribute to the way the sun was coming in and hitting the mist.
Right.
It's kind of that reddish kind of sun that comes in the morning.
Sounds very romantic. Romantic.
Yeah. Other than the mouth choking for air.
With hands all on it.
Yeah.
When you said that, my image in my head, which I'm sure the listeners would be probably didn't expect you were going to say they were trying to get something out of a mouth. I just felt like hands coming out of a mouth. So that
it was really weird. It was very symbolic almost, because the way the layer of mist was just, it was just a mouth. coming like out in. That's the only thing I can make out in the mist.
Right.
You know,
Right.
was a mouth and just seeing hands going in, and that was, it was just such a weird thing. And to wake up, run out of my bedroom, and see my sister with her hands in his mouth. You know, I mean, to right now, what's
It's so
happening in my
vivid.
brain right now
Yeah.
is so vivid.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, it's like, what was going on? Where was I? What is this kind of in between reality that, you know? It's so odd. And if you really study this how do you say it? This effect, you can go through things. You can go through walls. You can go through,
Yeah.
metal. You can, it's
Yeah. There's
so
no restraining
so
where you can go. And I would say to like I guess the mist part of it. You know, when you get like, did you ever smoke weed when you were younger?
here and there, but I was never
So
like,
when I would get really stoned, everything looked milky and misty.
mhm.
You
Yeah,
know, that's what it kind of
yeah,
reminded me
hazy.
of. Yeah.
It's like you're there, but you're not there, or it's just it's odd, man.
It's
It's
got a really
weird.
great filter on it.
Yeah, and I'm dying to get back to that point. I'm
Yeah.
dying to, and I think that was one of the biggest sparks in my life. And now I think back to other things that have happened throughout my life. When I was 5, before I got into kindergarten, my me and my mom were driving. So we're talking, I don't know, 81 or something, right? And this is before anybody had to wear seatbelts. Nobody was wearing a
Yeah.
seatbelt.
Yeah,
I was on
exactly.
my knees in the front seat next to my mom.
Yeah.
No seatbelt, no seatbelt. I was on my knees in the front seat. A car smacks us at 70 miles an hour. My mom's head goes through the windshield.
No.
Right? I should have been dead, dude. I should have been dead. Okay. I ended up under the glove box with a tiny little bruise on my head.
No way.
I should have died that day. Something kept me alive. I should have died. I remember getting up out of from underneath the glove box, asking, my mom was covered in blood, like shirt, everything. Her head hit the windshield. And asking her, Mom, are you dead?
No
You
way.
know? And literally all I had was a tiny bruise. I should have flown out that window, dude. I was on my knees in that front seat. You know? I can't explain it.
I
I
mean,
should
you
have
don't
been dead.
have to. There's,
Right.
you know, I mean, God looks out for us. I do believe we all have angels that follow, like, take care of us too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's crazy how life is like that. You know what I mean? Like how like like so many times you can go through life and like I should have been done of this. Like I should not have made it through this. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
If you're
crazy stuff.
Yeah, if you're open to seeing certain things in your life, like if you're open to, not being so closed off to things that you can't explain, or there's a lot of people that I know that are just completely closed off. They're just,
Yeah,
it's science
Mu-
explains everything, and
must
you
be a
die,
beautiful
that's
life.
it. At the end, well, maybe not, but uh,
You know, wait, are you trying to say ignorance isn't bliss?
yeah. Well,
Because it
I
looks
mean,
so peaceful in all of them. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you guys look
Well,
so happy over there, like clueless. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Um,
Just kidding.
But yeah, if you can see, if you're open enough to seeing these little things that happen throughout your life, you'll realize that there is weird things that have happened. Like for instance, what's happening to me lately. Have you ever gone down a rabbit hole on a certain subject, and then you start looking into, maybe you'll find another video to watch on YouTube, or you
Hmm.
read something or whatever, and then you'll find that other thing that got you started in the first place. Like it'll be more confirmation of the research that you've been doing, but you're not even
Yes.
looking for it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like little breadcrumbs that are being left behind, telling you
Yeah.
you're on the right path. Keep going, keep researching, keep looking. So that's been happening to me. It happened to me mid 2000s, and now it's starting to happen to me again, which is really weird.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's almost like conspiracy juice. You know what I mean? Because you're down this like you're like way down in this one topic, and then you're somewhere else, and then it confirms something from another topic that you were researching like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you're like, wait a minute, things are like clicking together, you
They
know? Like
all link together. It's the
yeah,
weirdest thing. Like literally, it happened to me last night, and I was like, "What?" It's like why is this popping up now all of a sudden? You know what I mean? These aren't like they're not. They may be connected in a way, but It's just why is this name showing up now? Why is this subject
Yeah.
showing up now after I've done I watch these videos all the time, but now all of a sudden these little connections start happening, and then it's weird. Little breadcrumbs telling you.
Yeah, that's
Keep
all they
going,
are, a little
keep going,
breadcrumb.
keep
Yeah,
going.
what's great is some of our listeners are around our age, and I think anyone younger than us, like decades younger than us, this is going to sound like woo woo to them. But think about what we grew up with just in TV alone, right? By the way, RIP MTV. I don't know if you heard about
Yeah,
that this week.
yeah.
Kind of sad, a moment of silence, and that's enough. Um, but we also had the X-Files. Remember that show?
X-Files. Yep, the X-Files are great.
Great. And like to this day, the one that I remember the most was the Jersey what is that?
Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil. Thank you so much. Yes. And like they're still talking about this today. You know what I mean? And like where did we learn this from? Well, I learned it from X-Files, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we're a generation of people that constantly are questioning our government reality. We are a generation that's constantly questioning things and thinking beyond just ourselves and our personal experience,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's wonderful. I think a lot of people, especially from our generation, don't talk about it like we're talking about it now. So I think the listeners enjoy that as well. Um, but I think it's just fascinating. There's a couple other shows that I thought about when I was thinking about this the other day because like let's talk about like next thing you know, you have History Channel. What are they doing? This is like almost. I mean, I think they have 20 seasons of it.
The Ancient
The
Aliens?
Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
And let's rewind it back even further, people. All right.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley's Believe It or Not, right? But let's rewind it back a little further. Indiana Jones.
Temple of Doom. The Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like this isn't new stuff, right? We're just getting more data on the stuff that from back then. And it's like, who didn't want to be, Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to, I
Yeah.
still want to be Indiana Jones, But what a beautiful generation we got to grow up in, and then like now question all the things that are going on in the world right now. On top of having the access to YouTube and the interweb.
Yeah.
You know what I was just reminded of today? We're gonna get back to Chris, but today I went over next door to the shop. Do you know the Harari family at all?
No.
Okay. They own a store next to me, and they used to be I'm not going to give them a plug here, but they used to be the people that sold you boom boxes and stuff like that in the swap shop on the upper side of the swap shop. Well, they have a store similar to that over here. And I asked them, like, did you originally open on this block that we're at? And they said, no, we opened up. You ready for this? Next to a internet cafe. Wrap your mind around that. Do you remember internet cafes?
Yeah, of course. He's alone. He's going to play games there. I mean,
yeah, right. That was awesome. The generation now, it's literally they were born with internet in their hand. You know what I mean? Like so the younger listeners, you had to go to a place because not everybody had or could afford internet, or where we're at, they were traveling. So they would go to a little place like a cafe, and they just sell you some terrible coffee, and you sit there and you pay per the minute or per 10 minutes or 15 minutes and to talk to people or send emails out because it wasn't so readily available in your hand every moment of the day.
Yep.
And I was like, man, like we lived in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And now, right now, you and I could just go onto the devices we're using and research whatever we want at any time. And it's just like insane.
Everything, audiobooks, libraries. I mean, access to everything at the touch of a button.
And you're watching sports.
Yeah, exactly.
Playback.
Yeah. You've seen some dude chuck a football.
Yeah. Call back from the last episode.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's a thing. Go for it.
Yeah. I just thought that was crazy. So, all right. So I think you sent me it, and I don't know if we're allowed to. Maybe Julie can figure this out if we're allowed to even mention. I don't see why we can't mention other podcasts, right?
We're plugging them.
Right. I mean, I mean, seriously, our podcast is taking over the world right now. Episode 11, and I mean, without us, people might not know who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you heard it here first. You're getting all the greatest hits of YouTube from Jeronimo and Adam Facenda. I think it's Area 51. Is that it's called
Area 52.
Area 52. Yeah.
Great channel. Yeah, great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm impressed with his channel. It's so
Production's
well.
great.
The production's amazing. Like, to be honest with you, the set that he interviews people, I'm like,
amazing.
Where did you find all this stuff? How much money do you have? Like, I go real deep on this stuff.
Yeah, isn't it good? It's like an interrogation room.
Yeah, it's like, so great.
Did you see the one of Travis Walton? It's literally like in like an interrogation room. Like,
is it really?
That I guess that he's built. It looks like, but he has a cool style because it's very like 50s kind of like vintage. It's very like century modern kind of, 50s UFO style.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Yeah, I've watched his other stuff before you sent me the thing that you sent me about Chris. But yeah, phenomenal stuff. I personally do like Shawn Ryan's interview with Chris more than that one. I think it was.
Yeah, the only reason is that there's some controversy with that, with his Shawn Ryan interview.
Why is that?
What
Here's the tea.
The thing that Chris Bledsoe said at the end about what that date is.
Yeah, he said that was the first time he put it out there, right?
Yeah, but a lot of people, there's other videos and other people saying that Chris Bledsoe, he never said that was edited together by Shawn's team. And supposedly one of the editor got fired after doing that because it was released like that, and that was never said that way. So that's why I don't know. I really don't know.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. So if you do some research on it, and you'll see there's some back and forth going on there about why that was edited that way.
Does he say that he didn't say that?
I think Chris's side said that he never said that. Because if you look at any of his other interviews,
so why else would he have ever brought up Jesus?
I would say it's editing. I have no idea where they could have spliced that together. It sounds like it was like that was the conversation.
It feels like it was real free flowing.
It does.
Now I gotta watch it again. Dang.
I don't know. And I've seen it again, and I watched it, and
is the shot like face to face, or is it just talking head?
Off the top of my head, I don't really remember exactly if they're going face to face or, I'm sure. I don't know.
Here's the other thing.
It's a bold statement. That's a bold statement to be making.
And I mean, I think Shawn would have pulled it down.
Well, notice that the video says uncensored. Now, uncensored could mean, obviously there's a difference between unedited and uncensored, right? So the video says uncensored. I don't know if that was what that means. What was the meaning of that, putting that in the title of the video, right? But if you look at the comments, the comments, everybody's like, he never said that. There's blah, blah, blah. There's some videos on YouTube that were saying that was never said, that it was edited that way. I don't know. I have to look into it more.
Well, that would also lead me down to, who doesn't want you to hear that? Is it disinformation? You know what I mean?
It gets deep, man.
Yeah.
It gets deep. It gets super deep. Super deep.
Yeah.
And that whole thing has got me really messed up lately.
That part, to be honest with you, that got me. That got me pretty.
Yeah.
That was the part that was like, wait, what did he just say? I don't even remember rewinding it. So it's weird that you said that's the controversial part.
Yeah.
And it stuck so hard with me in my head that I don't think Shawn Ryan would have left it up if it would have, especially with his viewpoints now.
I don't know. That's why it's weird. I don't.
We should probably have Shawn Ryan on our podcast. We should probably do this.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean? We're doing
I mean, he lives right above me. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, perfect. I mean, we're gonna do a GoFundMe for the how much does it cost to get Shawn Ryan onto a very small podcast? That's what we'll do.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like Shawn's a legit dude. Like he seems like a great guy, and he's really out there looking for the truth. Or I don't think he would do something like that unless.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's stand up enough. stand up
Yeah.
enough to be like, look, I could just get rid of this episode. Because that episode is 8 months ago, right? I thought it was odd because 8 months ago is exactly the same time the other guy releases his podcast about him. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought that was very odd. Like, because some of these people, they go on tours on these podcasts. Like, like you see him on one, next thing you know, he's on Rogan, next thing you know, he's on another one. But I thought that was very odd.
Was Chris? But was Chris on Rogan?
No, I don't think he was. I mean,
Okay.
no, I'm just saying like it went from that guy to Area 52, and then Sean Ryan drops his too at the same, like right around the
Well,
same.
that's the thing. This whole story has been around for a long time,
Right.
and it's weird that I've never come across that story before.
With Chris? I've seen him before.
Oh, I've never seen him before.
Oh yeah, I've seen him before, but I didn't. But that was in my era of like, yeah, of course, sure. This ball light came down and it was this big. I think he's actually on one of the Ancient Aliens, to be honest with you.
They did a show on him.
Yeah, that's when I remember seeing him. But this is way before this show or these two episodes. That's interesting.
I think it's weird that I've never come across him, his story, and it's really weird. So last night I was doing my whole 3-eye Atlas rounds, right?
Yeah, you got to update us on that because I can't find a damn thing.
So I have to. I wish I had the guy's name, but supposedly he released a paper. Now this guy, he's a controversial scientist. He's worked with people from Harvard, like physicists and stuff like that. So he released this thing, and of course there's no way to check this, but supposedly it was a leak from someone from, I don't know if the European Space Agency or something. But supposedly 3-eye Atlas has pulsed on October 13th. It pulsed light. Okay,
I heard this.
Light. And it pulsed the Fibonacci sequence, basically.
No, it didn't.
Okay. Yes, supposedly. October 13th is very interesting. And this all ties into the whole Chris Bledsoe thing, which is weird. This is the little rabbit hole, little pieces that I've been coming across. Okay.
This is also my daughter's birthday too, so this is really interesting. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, this ties into the October 13th to the day. October 13th, I think it was in 1917. Okay, October 13th, 1917. I think that's the year. But have you ever heard the Fatima, the mother appearing to the 3 children?
Yes.
Okay, that day, the mother, Virgin Mary. They think it was a Virgin Mary, right? The sun danced around that day. All this weird stuff. This woman appears to these children, and she tells them
about the future,
the secrets. Okay, and supposedly this pulse happened on that day. Yes. October 13th? Okay, it was October 13th. Okay, so I think whether it's bull, whether it's a lie or whatever.
What do you mean bull?
For me to come across this information, I'm saying that the pulse, so if the pulse was, I mean, this is the Fatima thing is completely documented. Like there's actually like pictures from that.
Right.
The Vatican is documented.
Are you saying the bull from Chris?
No, I'm saying.
You said this is bull, like BS?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Let's be clear to the people that are listening, okay?
Yeah, because there's another bull in Chris's story.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so whether the light pulse is complete baloney, right? Even still, I find it interesting that it would be tied back to the mother and the Fatima.
Oh yeah, as soon as he said the woman that he spoke to, the children, is exactly what I thought of. And then I also think back into a lot of old, this might not be politically correct, but like Asian culture that talk about a woman that comes from the water, and then the American Indians that say the woman that comes from the water. You know what I mean? And it's always this mother.
That's the thing. This is what's so interesting about the Bledsoe story is that it ties in every religion. Yeah. Everything. It's not just this one sect of religion, this one flavor of religion. And I think that's what might be found so controversial is that there's so many religions that think that they're the right ones, and if you don't believe that, you're a heretic,
Yeah. I've always found that very, I find that it's, as if we're going to talk about religion, I find it very, I would say the word funny. I don't think people understand what I mean when I say funny, because in my head, I'm like, I chuckle That's
Yeah.
why I find it funny. But if there's all one God, right? Allah, right? Right?
Yeah.
We got three religions that are literally talking about the same God. You know what I mean? Then you could pick any other outside religion from Christianity, Judaism, and Muslim. They're all talking about the same God, but they're probably talking about the same God because it's all one source. In my mind, that's what it is. It's all one
Right.
source. So
Yeah.
your culture has decided to give it this certain look, or like the resemblance of God and in His likeness, right? That's what the Bible says, right? In His likeness. Am I correct with that? Well, in His likeness, if God designed us, it's in what He liked, the likeness that He liked, not of Him. Or we are of Him because we are all souls of Him.
Right. I mean, look, think about it. God is not, he's not human. Okay. He is he's three. He's a trinity.
Right.
He is a multidimensional entity that
Is the all creating.
not bound by time. There is no time.
Nope.
Eternal energy form. He doesn't look like you. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's
No.
not, you know what I mean? Like, he's none of those things, you know? So he can do whatever, it can do whatever it wants.
You don't even have to say it. I think that's the other thing is like, it's God, right? So it's it's everything. It's in you, it's in me, it's literally everything right now. You know, so I always find it humorous that all these people fight about the same God. And if we could see an image of God as a human, he'd just be sitting in the corner shaking his head like,
Yeah.
I wish you guys could get this. Like you foolish children. You foolish children. Like we look at a child running around like with, diaper falling off their butt and chocolate all over their face. You foolish child, like you don't know what you do. I get that. Like, and that's the one thing that I know nowadays, especially with my faith, how I stray away from things that I feel are going to try to sway me to say, oh no, it's this, that, like it's that God isn't real or none of this is real. Well, I know what I've experienced in life. Like I've experienced some really weird things and not like Chris, but his whole story is so fascinating when you rewind all the little breadcrumbs you and I've come across in our lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
That's it. Yeah. God, I'm sorry.
And it's been exposed in so many TV shows, so many movies. And it's like those little breadcrumbs, they came from something somewhere. You know what I mean? It wasn't like somebody was like, hey, in 50 years, these guys are going to come across this guy, Chris, and he's going to say these things, like the art that we see that have these spacecrafts in it. You know, it's
religious art. Yeah.
Religious art everywhere.
I mean, what's an angel? Have you ever seen a real picture of an angel? I mean, whatever is described biblically as what an angel actually looks like, it's a nightmare. It's freaking literal nightmare fuel. Okay.
Yeah.
The spinning wheel in the sky it's not like a cute little cherub with little wings flapping or some dude.
Yeah.
It is a UFO. It's a freaking UFO. It's an
because that's the only way you can explain it.
Fire.
And that's the thing. It's like when you say UFO, some people think flying saucer. Some people think a drone. Now there's so many things that like pop up in your head when you say UFO or something that moves really fast across the sky and stuff like that. But and then what they describe is here's the part that I thought was amazing when he said about the being that he saw that was just so much light. It was hard to make a difference of the facial features and stuff like that.
The Shroud of Turin?
The Shroud of Turin, right?
Yeah.
Shroud of Turin, they're saying that the only way that could have happened is if it was like a nuclear light, right? Yeah. And then on top of that, they said there was two angels inside there with him. Whenever the women, whenever they came into the tomb, there was two angels in there. This light that this Chris is talking about, are these these are angels. These are angels that he's explaining and what he experienced, right? And are they also the same angels that they saw coming out of there? Because you heard this in the Bible, the light of, the burning bush and stuff like that. He literally describes this going through trees. The trees aren't in fire. It's just this ball of fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's talking to him. So I found that all really fascinating. Like just especially just coming so new to the Bible myself, like these stories are so fresh to me and so intriguing to me that it's like, did Moses meet one of these?
Yeah, I mean, and to see all this crazy imagery, like especially in like religious artwork and stuff, like there's literal like, I mean, saucers and weird stuff in the sky in these paintings, you know, and to try and there, I mean, there are some, you know, religious, you know, Christians and stuff that you know, Chris spoke about a lot of this, that were chastising him and calling it, saying that you're speaking to demonic entities, and you know, I believe what Chris is saying he believes. You know, I totally believe that he believes what he saw. He believes what they are, what he thinks they are. You know, um, but you have people, well, you know, you don't know what these things actually are. You know, like they could be saying something different. They could be fooling you. They could be whatever. I don't know. You know, like it's just so odd. I mean, I know, you know, Christians that would say that that's demonic. That's can't.
Yeah.
You know, that's a no go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but if you look at history and you look, you know, all these ancient artworks and all this stuff, like what do you say that is? I mean, why can't they all not be connected? Why can't they all, you know? Now, I don't believe, I personally don't believe that UFOs are coming from other planets. I just, I now that's crazy controversial, you know, that's
Okay,
weird stuff,
so
but
let's unpack that. Where would they come from then?
they're interdimensional or coming from somewhere
Okay.
completely different. That's my, obviously I have no idea. I'm talking out of my ass here. I have
No,
no idea.
it's awesome that you said that, because here's a breadcrumb I got yesterday. I think it was yesterday or this morning. I'm not sure. It might have been this morning, right? Tucker Carlson is talking to Alex Jones, and it's one of those 15. Right? These two people, like, I can't even believe I'm like watching this as I'm driving around. You know,
Yeah.
because I don't really listen to music anymore. I just put on stuff on YouTube and I play it through my car. You know, and I really want to research this. Alex Jones says he goes on about a tangent about how Elon Musk was taking ketamine, and all these billionaires are taking ketamine. And Elon said this is what happens whenever you take hallucinogenics. It breaches the veil of what we can and cannot see. Right? Have you ever done acid in your life?
No.
Wow,
Yeah.
buddy. Any hallucinogenics? Oh wow, this is
Nope.
interesting. All right, cool.
No.
I did a lot, did a whole bunch. So wait, and when I would trip as a kid, it is in my head, these things are really around you, like the things you're seeing. And it's like some crazy, sometimes it's crazy, sometimes real mellow, just depends, you know. But what Elon said was whenever you're taking a hallucinogenic, it breaches the veil of the light that you can see, what we can actually see. So when you breach that veil, you can see the other dimensions that are in front of you. And I heard this morning and I was just like, yeah, that makes a whole bunch of sense. You know what I mean? So to go back to where you say they're interdimensional, to be able to see through these layers of light that we can't see because our eyes are so
Limited in spectrum.
primal. Yeah, very, very, that it makes a lot more sense why when people take bath salts and stuff like that, I don't know if you ever heard any of these stories, these
Oh
people,
yeah, crazy. Yeah.
it's
Eating
insane.
faces and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my buddy Asher, God rest his soul, couldn't do drugs, so he was doing those because he was on probation. And he told me he was in his bedroom and the TV was on in the living room, and he said the light came like rainbows. So you know, a spectrum of light crawled into his room and like came around his entire room, and he panicked and started running out of his house because it was consuming everywhere he was at. And he said when he came out of it, he was naked at his front door, getting ready to walk out into the street, like run out in the street. And
Yeah.
he got sober, like just all like stopped. And
Yeah.
so like I remember taking acid. Acid lasts a very long time, especially when you're just taking more and more and more throughout the days. Like I think I went on 3 days of tripping one time. And so interdimensional, I believe that. Like you just like these
Yeah, that's why when you take like hallucinogenics and stuff like that, that's why if I was ever gonna do that, I would need to take it in a very controlled environment. You know what I mean? Like in a very,
I think you would
maybe
have a
it's just me,
terrible
maybe
trip.
it's, Well,
because you're trying to control something. You got to actually just let go.
Not that I'm trying to control it. I'm not trying to control it, but I believe it's a very, because I do believe what I will experience is something profound, right?
Oh,
I
for
do
sure.
believe that something will. What I don't want is I don't want to treat it like a joke or a party drug. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people do. They'll run around this whatever, blah blah. You know, I'm not trying to control it. I know there's no way to control it, but for me, it would be definitely more ritualistic in nature in the process of taking it. You know, um, I'd want to be around people that actually, consider this to be a very important, you know, ritual or whatever.
Okay.
I couldn't just pop it and then go party. That's what I'm saying. And just go to a club or whatever, or go screw around. No, I want to take it. I want to take it seriously because it's an important thing. It's been done for thousands of years.
Right.
In a ritualistic manner.
Gotcha.
So that's why I just would like to take it under the right circumstances and not.
Yeah, it's funny. I would not take anything at this age. I have a more so because I know health risks that come with it now. Remember how we were talking last time?
Yeah.
Like you getting on a swing.
Yeah, don't get on.
Right. So like you have that fear, right? So that would be my fear because I don't think I could take it now. You know what I mean? And I mean I took on so much that I would see things. So I guess they say it gets trapped in your spinal fluid, and there was a point where I was having flashbacks, and it was literally probably just residual that was in my
I mean, there's other. I mean, you were probably taking just straight up acid, right? LSD. Were you? I mean, there's other forms.
I was taking acid. I was taking what's that? Very small little piece of. I forget what they're called. What's it called?
Julie said Molly.
Come on, Julie. I'm older than that. We rolled an ecstasy. Okay. It was
PCP angel dust.
Oh yeah,
Quaaludes?
all those. No, it was literally
Quaaludes.
I'm not that old. Come on. I thought you were my friend. No, it was just little I mean, people, it looked like, to be honest with you, I can remember seeing it and it looked like little like pellets that you feed your rabbit, but really small. And I want to say belladonna, but I didn't do belladonna. I did like a bunch of different stuff, like mushrooms, all that stuff. So it wasn't just strictly, I mean, I did paper acid, I did gel tabs. I mean, I did a lot. A lot. And I'll put this out there. I'm going to throw Charlie Brown under the bus. Charlie Brown used to sell fake acid to kids, and then we go buy real acid with it so we could take it. You don't kill anybody. Like, I'm sure you would trip it because kids would come and buy more. I was always the kid that had like I don't think you should do that kind of comments. Like when all my homies were tattooing each other with homemade machines, I'm like, yeah, I don't think you should do that. The voice of reason, Adam Facenda.
What?
Mescaline.
Mescaline.
Yeah. Did you just look that up?
She did.
Oh. Does it say it looks like rat pellets? Rabbit pellets?
I looked up little pellet psychedelic drug and mescaline was the first.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom.
There you
That's
go.
the reason.
Oh, we got it.
Speaking of Charlie also stole 100 hits of that the night that I took it. I'm just going to throw Charlie under the bus because the reason why I'm throwing Charlie Brown under the bus is to this day, he still puts my phone number on things that he shouldn't. Like we had this thing that we did forever.
Basketballs?
No. I wish. No. It you ever see like get a free membership? Remember those things?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he would write my name out and my phone number and they call me, and that was our thing. We would like do that stuff to each other. He still does it to this day. I had some random person call me and they're like, "Hello, Mr. Goodchild," and I'm like, no. That was his last name. Yeah, if it was legit, that was a legit first name. Where was it going with that? Oh, so he bucked about 100 hits, and because he was going to sell it to somebody else, but then we all took some. And then when I took some, I'm like, I don't think I'm feeling it. And well, when I hit the guy, he got in my car and I hit him. I started beating him up and he jumped out of the car. So there's a bunch of hits all over the floorboard of my car. So like a crackhead, I went into the floorboard of the car, and then while I'm tripping, trying to is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Yeah. So I was really bad as a kid.
Kind of Wolf of Wall Street, palsy phase. You ever see Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You wait for the Quaaludes to pop in, and he.
Bro, I was also passing a kidney stone at the same time. So I was on Percocet and was it mescaline? Is that what it's called? And drinking, and it was a mess. I was a mess. It's kind of like Wolf of Wall Street. Like there was moments where I would talk really fast like this, and then I'd be like, and everyone's like stop around, and I'm like, I'm not, man. I'm like, this is how I'm going. It's like full throttle, slow mo, full throttle, slow. It was terrible, terrible. But yeah, so trying to control a trip is not the best
No,
bet. You'll have a
yeah.
bad trip from it. So all right, back to Chris. I mean, this really went on a tangent. I think I'm the one that takes it off. Maybe I have ADHD. I don't know. But that's how my mind works. I don't know about you. Like when I'm like researching stuff, I'm like,
Oh, of course.
what's this? I'm like, oh, what is this? And sometimes if I'm not feeling a video, do you ever scroll down and like look at whatever? It's like,
of course.
Yeah.
What else I suggested or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then out of nowhere, they'll like suggest something like completely ridiculous, like a cartoon. You're like, why is this even in my algorithm? Like, I don't even.
Yeah.
Like something must have happened when I slept last night or the night before. I'm totally going on a tangent. I'm sorry to the listener. I woke up the next morning, threw on YouTube downstairs because that's like literally all I watch, and it was some weird check out my new costume. And it was just people showing off their new costumes for Halloween 2025. I'm like, how did this wind up in my algorithm? And man, I had to click.
If you watch anything on YouTube, it'll show up in your algorithm. Like you'll get like 30 videos of that one thing.
Yeah, but I don't recall ever clicking on it. It wasn't like a short I picked up. It was literally like I must have fallen asleep and it was just giving me stuff.
Oh,
and then it went down its own wormhole, or rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I was calling wormholes. I know they're completely different. Anyway, but yeah, the whole Chris thing fascinated me so much that I got the book, the audiobook, because I ain't got time to sit down and read a book. So this is where we're finally going to announce that we're going to do an audio book. That's right, folks. I kill myself. No one can cheat. They have to do one chapter at a time. They can re-listen to the full chapter, but we're going to meet back here on this podcast to talk about the audio book club. Oh God.
Book club for lazy people.
Book club for the dummies. Oh man.
Where were those Cliff Notes?
Yeah, we're totally
Totally
derailed. Yeah, man, I got that book and I started listening to it already, and then I don't know if you ever do this when you start a book. You read a few chapters and then you're like, man, I kind of need some more content. I can't get totally absorbed in this, because I literally felt myself going, oh no, like that movie. You ever see that movie 23 with the heck is his name? It's like basically booked a movie that the guy just sees 23 everywhere. He puts it in everything.
No, I never.
What's the name of that movie?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. You never saw that movie?
No, what was the movie called? 23?
23.
No, I never saw it. Nope.
Is she just really smart,
That
or
makes
is she on her
sense.
computer right now?
Oh, she's looking at it. Oh, she's on it. Yeah.
You're good.
Oh, but she remembers it. She said.
Oh, she remembers it. See?
Yeah. She saw it. I never saw it.
And remember how crazy that guy got? I'm not talking to you. Insane.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. And I'm going to get her on this show in front of a camera eventually.
The mic. She's gonna get a mic.
Okay.
I mean, what's the point? I mean, really, what's the point? Why not?
Why not? We need you. I need to hear you better.
We're there in the corner.
Yeah, you sit in the corner. You heard what your husband said. I was joking, babe. I'm joking. You don't sit in the corner. I never have. We don't even have corners in our house. This is a round room.
It's a flying saucer.
We don't even know what dimension we're in right now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So I started listening to it. I'm like, I don't want to get too deep in this because I'm going to wind up being like the guy in 23, the movie you've never seen before, which you might become this guy one day yourself. So maybe you shouldn't see this because I don't want to be a spoiler to your future self. But it's pretty crazy. I don't want to be that guy.
I want to get it. I want to. You should also get those Bob Monroe books. There's 3 of them. Yeah. Amazing books. Super good. Yeah, you should probably think about going to Monroe Institute, man. Check it out.
I thought about when I was watching. That's where the guy goes from
Yeah.
Area 52. I thought about that because I really want to get back into it. And I know that I can. I mean, maybe I'll do a boys trip.
That would be it. Bucket list, man. Bucket list.
Hey, you guys going to fishing? No, we're going to the Monroe.
No, we're going out of body. See ya.
See ya. Your lame trips to Jamaica.
More fishing in Pisces.
All right, I think we should end this. How long have we been on this? About an hour. About an hour. About an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk a little bit more. I don't really want to. I want to dive.
There's so much. There's
so much. There's
Yeah,
so much to
there's a
talk
ton of
about.
stuff.
I mean, we have more
crazy.
episodes. We have time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Just
that's
the
why.
older you get, the more weird stuff you start to. Again, if you're open to it, the more weird stuff you're gonna start to encounter, man, and like seeing like just weird stuff, man. And there's no explanation for it. There's no like you start wondering like why. Like you start asking that question, the older you
Yeah.
get. Man.
I guess he's a friend of mine. Yeah. We grew up together. He sends me a lot of political memes or reels. I don't know. I'm old. I don't know what to call them, but a lot of stuff on Instagram, and it's all political. And I literally get angry about it. And I've told him several times, like, look, I have my own beliefs about what's going on, but I don't even have time for this.
Yeah.
There's so much more interesting things out there in the world, like out of body experiences, near death experiences, all that stuff, which is a topic I really want to talk about. But yeah, there's so much. Like, I don't even have time for the political stuff. Like, I want to know if we're going to war, and that's about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get political, but like, I just have no time for that. I want to, if I, at my age, if I get another 100 years out of life, which I'm hoping to, what they're saying, like technology, like some people can live to 150, no problem. That's some other rabbit hole I went down yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go much. I mean, I'm good at like the regular human male
80?
death age. Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm good. I've had a good life. I don't really have any regrets. I'm ready to move on. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. No, no, this place is awesome. It's great and all, but I mean, I'm good. I'm good right now.
Hey, you have that opportunity to call it quits whenever you want. No, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna call it quits whenever I want.
Well, you just said 80 regular, regular checkout time.
Well, that's that I think the average what is it? Male life expectancy is what, 83, I think. For 83 years, around that age.
Yeah, I'm looking for 150. I'm going.
I mean, 150. No way, dude. No.
Yeah, bionic everything, bro.
Like bicentennial man over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's so much
transhumanism. There you go. That's another.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, that Chappie. I mean, I'm in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it turned into Chappie, which is an atom head.
Yeah. I mean, which is probably the same size as my head because my head's so freaking big. Yeah, man, I'm down. 150 years, just to learn more about stuff, man. Just learn like as much weird stuff there is.
Yeah.
You know what sucks is as I'm getting older, I used to watch my father and I would stare at him and be like, is he playing like he's stupid, or is he just, this is what happens when you get old, Not that he was dumb, but like you tell him something, he'd forget it and stuff like that. I'm so terrified of that. And sometimes I feel that way when I stumble on my words. I'm like, am I getting that am I hitting that old age? Like, I really want to learn more. I've always been fascinated about learning these things,
I think that's a choice that you make.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just keep going, keep your mind active.
Yeah.
It's up to you to do that.
Or,
some people just don't care enough.
Yeah.
To, learn to use their phone.
Or you can become Chappie.
Or you turn into Chappie with Adam head.
That's it. Let's
next graphic for the YouTube.
Yes.
Graphic.
And just my head on Chappie.
Yeah.
Or a Chappie head that looks kind of like mine. That'd be great. That would be great. We need to learn how to like sign off on these too while we're doing this. We're gonna chop this part out, but
there's plenty more to talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that, on the next podcast.
Yes, on the next podcast. once again, I'm Adam. This is
I'm
Geronimo.
Geronimo.
That's it. There he is.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you guys for listening, watching, whatever. Please like, subscribe, share to your friends. If you had any fun listening to this, I can't wait for you to hear more. This is just one topic, and we literally talked about nothing that we decided we were going to talk about. I mean, we hit Chris. That was about it. But
Tell us some of your experiences. If you guys have had weird stuff, weird out of body, anything like that. If you guys have something to say, cool to say, something that'd be interesting, write it out.
write it out or hit us up. Jump on the show one day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much again for listening. This is Anchors and Eagles.